Yo. Hello, gangs of the world. We're playing more Darksiders 3. I looked at my mic when I should have looked at the camera. I was actually just fiddling with the camera before we started this. Need water. Okay, what was I gonna say? Right, I was just fiddling with it before this because, you know, you're staring down at me. My monitor's on, like, a shelf on my desk. Because that's how I like it brings it up to my eye level. But the camera's way above me, so, like, you're just looking above me at my freaking gross hair. Not gross, it's just hair. It doesn't look good. And yeah, there's just not a better spot for it. I tried bringing it down, and if we do that, you're gonna be staring up at me in all my neckbeard glory. But I don't think you want to look up my nose either, so I think this is probably for the best. Just wish there was a better way. It's been a week. I'm pretty sure I'd never insert that first, like, 10 minutes of the last stream back into the video. I just left it out since I didn't say anything too important. But we're just re-establishing. I want you guys to know how long it's been since the last one, so you know how much my skill has deteriorated in between sessions. Well, we talked about copyright shit for a little bit. Mentioned how I deleted a couple playthroughs, like Strider, because nobody was watching it and it had claims.
For now, if I don't learn the truth about
I was also embarrassed I fucked up the speedrun for that, because I said that I could do it, and then I, like, hilariously failed at every turn, and it was an absolute disaster. Oh, hey. Maybe the texture's just missing from the game files. But that's strange, because when we crashed the other day, I, like, validated the game cache to make sure it was all there, but, like, it's on multiple crates, man. So we don't have any video games to talk about. It hasn't been enough time. However, before we started the stream, I, like, went on my anime list, checked out what I actually watched recently, tried to refresh my memory, and I have a very long list of shows to talk about. So I hope you're a weeb. I'll happen a little bit later. I feel like I should just... I don't know why I wouldn't start right away, but whatever. Right, that's toxic. I need purple shit to do that. How clickbaiting totally works, by the way. I remember the original in the original playthrough, I always referred to that as the purple. And I think I titled one of the videos, like, not sponsored by Purple, like the mattress manufacturer. And that one has significantly more views than any other one, even if they all are a second long. And that's what matters. People clicking on it puts it onto more front pages on the algorithm, and then eventually someone who actually cares will click it. Or not. Maybe nobody cares, but hey. Point is, people were trying to look up reviews of the purple mattress, I guess, and they found Darksiders 3 and like, whoa, this looks cool. Of course, considering how I run this show, maybe there will be a review in there one day. Except I'm very happy with my current mattress. We've talked about this before. I'm also not looking forward to moving this bed out at any time in my life. It was very heavy. The fucking asshole mailman left the box at the bottom of my driveway, which is a big-ass dirt road hill. I had to drag that sumbitch all the way up here, and we can squeeze it through the garage. I had to assemble my bed outside of my room, move out the old bed, put that one in, and then drag the mattress again. Small-ass door, and boy, it was a pain in the ass. But, like, I used to think it was cute that parents keep their kids' rooms intact, but the fact of the matter is that kid just didn't want to move his fucking bed out of the house. Like, ah, screw it, I'll buy a new one. Ah, fucking angel asshole. There's my thing. In the car. Or it's the safest of all. Huh. I heard that song the other day. And it, like, brought back memories of the Mighty Boosh. I was too young to appreciate the show when I watched it, but I have a lot of good memories of it now. It goes for a lot of the stuff that came on really late on Adult Swim. Like, before it switched over to Cartoon Network, there was, like, Off the Air, Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Look Around You. And, like, I didn't get it because I was, like, freaking 13 or 10 or probably both. Being an insomniac and shit because school's pointless. Tom Goes to the Mayor, home movies. These are all great. Hell, I even started liking Squidbillies eventually, though I like still wouldn't watch it willingly. It's kind of just sad and gross, but like it's real in like a King of the Hill kind of way. It's weird that this guy doesn't reset. And I'm happy that he doesn't, because that'd be, like, lame. Smack his ass a few times and he goes to where he needs to go, but still strange. It also means that when I leave this area, he isn't going to reset either. He's going to stay right there. He's like a part of the save file. They thought that was important data to preserve. Holy shit, he's got tracking on that. Woo! I don't know why I'm pointlessly dodging. Bad habits. I think Sekiro would have taught me something. It didn't, because you can't block in this game. God damn. What? He pinned me. That's a load of shit. But I swear it slowed down on that first dodge. And I didn't do the counter.
Greetings. Please take your time.
Can I go to Forge? I want to upgrade the Stormlance so I actually use it. I like the spell on it, I just not quite feeling the rest of it. I think I remember using it for aerial combat before, but like, you don't really do aerial combat, like there's not a lot to it. It just has a good down slam, I guess. Let's hit it. Think you can charge that? Yeah, and like there's an AoE thing. I think that freaking... Why did I do so many thrusts at once? Like a combo thing? I have no idea how I did like that freaking quad thrust a second ago. Right, well, Uthane.
There's a fair...
Oh shit.
This trinket will enhance your raw power, making you an even more formidable threat.
Good thing we came back. That's from collecting humans.
Aiming to lay down a mighty hurt, are we?
A mighty heart.
Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that. Didn't think it was possible. Some of my best. Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that.
Maybe I used all the... Damn it. Whatever, we got a strong-ass whip now.
Interesting. All right. Let's see what I can do for you.
This is the Angelic path. I need one more. Do I want to upgrade this? I feel like having a big boost to arcane damage is, like, all around good, right? This one I'm just not sure about. Like, it's fine. I feel like there's some that's probably like more health or whatever. Physical and arcane damage. Okay, maybe that's more worth it than the other one, right? Having both up. And it comes out to less overall, but it also comes with the health boost. Question is, do I go for health or damage first? Probably damage, right?
Didn't think it was possible. Some of my best work. Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that.
Essence of a chosen... Right! Freaking mini-bosses you have to do to hit the final level.
Interesting. Take care. And,
Oh, we're stuck with that one now. Didn't I get the... No, that was one you had to buy.
What would you ask of this Please take your time.
The fisting pool. That's how I read it. Okay, it does chain lightning on the charge attacks. Kind of obvious, I'm sure, but well, it's like a reason to use it in a situation like this. I like the juxtaposition of it being like a pokey weapon that does AoE on its thing. Fuck! Ah. Oh, you know what? We do have one game to talk about, and it's relevant, I guess. And we didn't play it, but they finally released, like, gameplay with Elden Ring. But first, I guess I want to say that the community's been, like, really ridiculous about this game. Like, they haven't seen anything about it until now, even though it was announced, like, 2 or 3 years ago, right? But people are already, like, the whole subreddit, people are jerking off to it every day. You know, they think it's gonna be the best thing ever, and they don't even know what the fuck it is. And, you know, I don't think that that's, like, fair, because, you know, I'm sure everybody does love Bloodborne, but, like, I didn't like Bloodborne. I'm sure there are other people in my chair who love Dark Souls and not Bloodborne, right? You can't just assume that it's gonna be awesome. Anyways, that said, game looks amazing. Now that we actually seen it, yeah, it looks fucking great. It looks like they took everything that they learned from Sekiro and just injected that back into Dark Souls. Like, gameplay-wise, it is still very much Dark Souls. There's still bonfires. You still have the slow-moving guy. Stiffy combat, but, like, it's smoother now. There's a bigger focus on parries. You can jump. It looks like you can just pull out bows and spells like it's nothing. You don't have to open up any fucking menus or whatever. Horse riding, because it's open world now, which means it's officially a dungeon crawler. You get to meet your freaking charming NPCs all over the big world. They still have the weird thing where, like, the characters are all really freaking quiet when they talk for no apparent reason. Also, this got bugged out. I don't mind. The world space is called, like, the place between or something, right? And Dark Souls 2 starts in a place called Things Betwixt, where you meet these, like, 3 crones that tell you the prophecy to go to Drain Lake and become king or whatever. Now the woman who you, like, pray to level up or whatever, you know, she's like that in all the games. The Firekeeper. She looks more or less exactly like the chick in this game who has the same function. Even the same hood, the same voice actor, I think. It's like a soft-spoken British woman. So, like, I think they might be closely related. Things Betwixt is supposed to be a place between realms, right? This intro cutscene, you show the guy walking out of his realm, he dives into a whirlpool, ends up there, and then he ends up in Drain Lake afterwards. So, like, I think this whole game just is set in that area between the worlds. So I guess you could say it's technically connected to Dark Souls, question mark. Anyways, that's just something I noticed. I don't know. I'm, like, actually hyped now. Too bad it keeps getting delayed, but, you know, if it's good when it comes out, that's all the better. Really, as long as there's not a demo out yet, I can wait. Once there's a demo, then, like, the dick will be too big to contain. And, you know, there might not even be a demo. I don't think they've done it for any of their other games, so, yeah. Shoutouts to Dark Souls 2. I thought it had, like, a really interesting world compared to the other entries. Level design and enemy placement are, like, a different story, but, like, the actual, like, creative juice that went into that game was very much there. And honestly, it wasn't that bad originally anyways. And of course, Scholar for Sin came out and made it, like, actually good, but, you know, whatever. I've never gotten through that version. I think it's the PvP stuff that always I like tap out on, like when you get to the bell towers and stuff in prison, Lost Bastille. Because, like, they made the multiplayer actually accessible in that game. Which means that, like, I'm actually gonna try and do it. Unlike the first game where, like, nobody plays and, like, the network shit, so... you can just ignore it all. People do play the first game still. I think they, like, everybody goes through all of them at some point, but you have to keep up with the Discord or Reddit or whatever to get into that. Did I ever go behind this waterfall? Really, my attention is completely split when I start talking. Oh, also, that, like, big-ass glowy tree that you can see from everywhere, that comes from Berserk. Which the freaking author died of a few months ago. So that's never getting finished. Or, I don't know, they were gonna release a final chapter with, like, a shoe-in ending. With, like, one of the understudies or whatever, one of the guys who helps the guy write. Heading it, and then, like, you know, he's not gonna keep the whole thing going because he didn't know where it was gonna go, I guess, but anyways, anyone who has a little interest in trivia knows that, like, that had a huge influence on all the FromSoft RPGs, including that one. I actually just rewatched the original anime recently with my brother, since he's trying to get into anime now. He's definitely in the camp where he thinks that most of it's cringe because you see the cringe stuff on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, but, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's just not that at all. And I'm trying to point him in that direction. So, you know, he watched it, he loved it. And, yeah, even though it's from the 90s, it is still an absolute masterpiece. Animation still looks great. It ends on a weird note. There need to be, like, one more episode in the original franchise, but you know what? The 3D CGI movies exist, and they're pretty good, too. Like, they're not as ugly looking as the Netflix seasons that came afterwards. And they actually, like, have the proper ending to that whole Golden Age bullshit. So, you know, I think it says something when he watches the whole original series and then he goes and watches the movies immediately afterwards. Like, it's no big deal. And he enjoyed both. As for what comes after that, sadly, it's very hard to stomach visually. I still watched it, and, you know, I got to see, like, ogres rape women and have their stomachs explode when they came. So, that was pretty surreal. Bye-bye, Gargoyle. Griffin, I ain't fighting you. Alright, so I guess I should start with what's most relevant, and, I guess that would be Season 5 of My Hero Academia, as well as the new movie, The World Heroes Mission. Let's see, it starts with, like, a training arc. Everybody's showing off their new abilities, they're fighting different class members. Which, you know, it's nice to see what the people in the other classes can do, instead of just focusing on our main group, who already doesn't get enough attention, or, in my opinion, focus too much on freaking Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki. Which is the focus of that whole first half after the training arc. Like, they join up with Todoroki's dad, Endeavor, and they train, like, off-camera, and they get faster, I guess. They get better with response time, since he's, like, #1 hero in the world right now. But what you see is just a family drama with Todoroki. He's like, I hit you, Dad, but I'm trying. He's like, I'm a bad dad, but I'm trying too. And the rest of their family's like, we don't want to forgive you. So that was that whole first half. The second half, actually, it followed the villains, which I thought was very interesting. So, you know, you see them, like, you get their backstories, finally, and you see people, like, exploding and stuff. They all get, like, new powers, which, honestly, strange. Bit of a lore break, or immersion, whatever you want to call it. And that, like, nobody else just develops new powers later on in their lifespan, but also, since there's only, like, 5 major villains, these guys gotta be OP, right? So, yeah, I don't know, that was pretty cool. I guess they're not identifying as villains anymore, they call themselves paranormals, since it's more inclusive. I guess they're trying to beef up their numbers. I think is really strange, but alright. Again, I can't go into too much detail with these things because I don't want to spoil everything. However, the movie, I saw that like last week. You know, it's in theaters for one day because that's the attention the anime movies get. So we saw it in theaters, which I want to point out is just like a different experience. Like, you're not being respectful, everybody's talking, laughing at the things, they're yelling no, and their freaking husbando gets hurt. When Best Boy shows up on screen, everybody's like, hey! Rest in peace, Ida, he is not in the movie. And you know, just a good way to meet fellow weebs in your area that you didn't know were there. Everybody's very social. So yeah, go see movies. Even the girl reading tickets was a weeb, and she handed us like a little book with like behind the scenes info on the thing and some manga in it. That was pretty cool. Nice addition. So the movie has them go to like some third world European country. Where like petty crimes rampant, but they're not supposed to get involved because they're big heroes. They only got time for the big shit. And they're dealing with like a sort of terrorist religion that wants to get rid of everyone who has quirks by like forcing everyone's quirks to go overdrive. So like people with laser eyes will start just shooting people without their consent or whatever, control. They do it with gas bombs. What's really strange at first is that the leader, like, obviously has a quirk, he's freaking blue. And, yeah, you learn why he wants to get rid of them entirely later, but... they also have a few other quirk members, they're just there for the lulz, I guess, I don't know. Otherwise, they look like a Catholic cult, like the Knights Templar or whatever. And most of the movie doesn't actually focus on them, right? It's... You meet one of the poor boy petty thieves, and, he runs into Deku, he gets, like, information stolen from the cult mixed up with them. He's also related to them somehow, because of course he is. Goes on a road trip with Deku, who is, like, framed for murder because the cult controls the police. Once all that happens, big fights at the end. Focuses on, of course, the three boys from the previous season. The movies so far have all been just slightly ahead of where they were. I don't think that was the case this time. It was, like, in the present, possibly, like, the very next thing that happens in the show. And I'm pretty sure this one's canon, too, even though it'll probably never come up. That said, great fights. I thought it was a very well-paced movie. Like, it was an hour of the road tripping and stuff until that happened, and then, like, 45 minutes of fights after that. Great action. And, you know, there was, like, a lot of blood in the movie. I guess because it's a movie, you don't have to worry about TV ratings, but, yeah, things got pretty damn violent. Also, I swear to God, Todoroki showed, like, the most emotion he's ever has. Deku is still, like, kind of lame as ever, but he's becoming, like, more tolerable, I feel. And Bakugo's a dumbass, but whatever, he fights good. When he wins, it was like a what the fuck moment. We're like, what, he's actually smart? But yeah, I guess he always has been. Like, at the beginning, he was, like, honor roll student, cool guy. Definitely going to UA. But, like, he's too much of an asshole, and, like, he doesn't think he's just a freaking aggro all the time. So, you don't think that he's smart. You just forget about it. So I know I just glossed over all that, but you know what? It's like the most popular show. So if you care about anime, you're probably already watching it. I don't need to do any explaining. Shoosh. Where do we go? Oh god, there's more men. I need. I deal with two guys at once. Are you kidding me? How much health these fuckers have? Clenching. Die. Ooh. Right, we've been over there. Just cleared out this room, I hope. Oh, fuck. Oh, why did I freaking tank that? It was a bad idea. Take that straight jacket off me. Oh, rejuvenation core. So that's the way to go. Oh, okay. Fortification shard. Right, those are useful. I wish I used them more. But I don't. Kinda just only use them on boss fights. But like, they come from normal enemies sometimes. I think it dishes out less because I have them stockpiled right now, but... the game just wants to keep you on your toes. Survival horror games do the same thing. I hear the boy. And there's the goop. I thought that was one of the things I'd hit. The boomerang, but nah. I see excrement. I think I remember like jumping on top of this building somehow. There was nothing up there, and I think the collisions broke, but I did it. Did anything to do with this? Oh, hey.
Please, save
Touch it. Roof. It's because they're different colors that the texture's missing on one and not the other. Wonder what happened to it. It's not missing from the files. Somebody just accidentally deleted it, I guess. Why couldn't they just open up the gate? So barbaric. Barbaric. I guess we can talk about To Your Eternity next. Is probably my favorite thing to come out of the last wave of things. I need to do it from the cliff here. So the first episode starts out with us following a sort of formless ball of nothing that was sent to the world by a god to learn. And once something like touches it, it'll, it learns about the things, it learns to feel, to smell, to see, and eventually it's able to take the form of a rock. How fun. Eventually becomes a dog, And I don't remember if it's the first or second episode where he meets the human, but, like, I don't think there's, like, any dialogue for any of that whole first montage. Maybe the whole first episode, even. But yeah, eventually he meets, like, an Eskimo boy. Living out in the tundra. Dude, what the H? Yeah, he just follows him around to learn things. Again, there's very little talking because, like, why would the kid talk to the dog? Like, you talk to your dog sometimes, so you're not gonna have a full-blown conversation with it, right? And the kid lives alone, there is no family, he's just got a small shack, again, in the middle of the tundra. So he fishes a lot. Eventually, he, like, I think he gets the fishing line stuck in his leg or something. And that's how he bleeds out. The dog doesn't know what to do, he can't help him. But that experience hurts him emotionally. So he's able to take the kid's form afterwards. And he just moves on as him. Nobody knew the kid existed, nobody knew he died. He's just him now, so that's his, like, primary form for the rest of the show. Though he can still shapeshift into other things if he chooses to. So he still doesn't know how to be a human, right? He's, like, walking around like a zombie, doesn't talk, doesn't eat, he just dies periodically and resurrects with a new body. Because the kid died with the freaking leg wound, he always has that leg wound. Probably not healthy. But eventually he runs into a tribe. So you figure out this is, like, maybe Iron Age, technologically wise. There are a lot of different cultures he encounters, but they're, like, very tribal, and they meet a little girl named March. She climbs shit and she eats a lot. She's missing all of her teeth. And she is up next to be a sacrifice to the gods, or whatever. Which low-key means that the stronger civilization came there and said, you're gonna give us people, so we don't destroy your town. So she might have been sold into slavery or something, I don't know, but, someone wasn't happy being a sacrifice, so she ran away, and she eventually runs into our immortal character. And, you know, she sees him transform right away. It's very scary, scares off the guys chasing her. But she's like, hey, well, you saved me, little dog boy. Or human. No, it was a human first, then dog later. She's like, you're freaking weird. Why don't you talk? Have this apple. I think he transforms into the dog to try to get food, and he still fails. That's how she learns about that. But eventually he learns how to eat because of the little girl, and she sort of, like, mentors him for a little bit, right? And eventually she also teaches him how to say thank you for the food. By, like, flapping his gums and just repeating it. He doesn't know what it means, but he says it after eating, so that's cute. Except when it's a freaking dog saying it in human language. I say human language because he talks like text-to-speech. So, stuff happens, little girl eventually disappears for reasons I'm not spoiling. He gets a few new forms, moves on, meets other mentors. Specifically an old woman after her, who, like, teaches him how to speak more properly. Which, if you're watching in Japanese, is, actually not a bad way to try to learn the language for some basic stuff at least. However, you know me, I'm a filthy casual who sits on my pillow back there on my bed, and I have bad eyes, so I don't want to read. I watch dubs. I need to jump out from the roof. That's why we're not going anywhere. So, I'm not gonna walk you through the whole freaking show, but, like, if any of that sounded kind of interesting, it was. And, you know, there's plenty of action, too. A lot of people die. At no point do I feel like any character is invincible. In fact, at the end of the first season, even the old woman is finally dead. Even though she sticks around longer than anyone else. But, like, yeah, he goes on adventures, gets new forms, learns more about being human, learns morality and whatnot. He has, like, the opposite of him, things that take experiences away from creatures or whatever, is, like, literally made as a counter to whatever he is. They chase him around sometimes. That's usually what gets people killed, but sometimes it's just, you know, normal human stuff. And they behave very interestingly, too, so they get in a lot of cool situations with those. Yes, they have somewhat creative solutions to hurt them as they gain more powers. Very video game bossy, which is good choreography, in my opinion. Also, the character Gugu, he's sick. He has, like, an experimental organ in him that produces alcohol, and he uses that to blow fire. Because he had, like, a freaking accident, so his face is ugly. He wears a helmet all the time. He, like, installed flint on the helmet. It's pretty sick. In general, the character designs are all pretty cool, because, again, it's, like, not medieval, it's pre-medieval. And it's not all just, like, feudal Japan or whatever. Very tribal in a lot of the places. Guess I'm supposed to jump across this, because I'm not seeing a way out. Do I swim? I know I swam in here before. It was actually, very long, too. I think it went on a bit longer than 24 episodes. And there's more to come, it's just, like, on hiatus now or whatever. I think it was just, like, interesting to see something learn how to be human. You don't think about that stuff, you just did it, right? How did you learn your first language? You have no idea, but learning a new language is freaking difficult. I don't say it was school, because you were talking long before you went to freaking school. Oh, you probably even knew how to write your own name. Where do I go? Through this door, am I an idiot? No, that's the way we came. How do I get over there? How do I do it? I'm, like, very frustrated because I'm trying to talk, but I can't talk if I want to pay attention to where I'm going and figure this shit out. Am I missing something on the balcony? Is there a way to go higher up? I did say I remember going on the roof of this building. But I'm pretty sure it was a glitch when I did it. Maybe it's a different building I'm talking about. There's how many freaking warehouses in this. This is like a harbor district. They all look the same. Can I go up there? That looks like a place I can go up to, but like I can't jump that high. I guess I could try to glide. No, I'm not sure we're gonna make it. Doesn't look like it, no. There's a time limit on the glide. So yeah, solid recommend. I'd even give it like a perfect score. I don't think there's anything wrong with the show. It does some experimental things, but you know what? I think that that's refreshing. Maybe I'm supposed to do something with this? Like, I opened up this wall, right? No. Wait, yes! I opened up that wall. It looks like it was open the whole time, but it wasn't. I'm supposed to bring this guy into that pit, and then I can jump on him. Big brain. Big brain too small. We did it. Pretty sure there's a boss fight coming up here.
When we go in, we're going in?
Oh, I don't think there's a Vulgrim before it.
Shut for a change.
Because it's so close to the other one, I really just have to, like, jump up two things and we can be back here, even though we just went through a whole ordeal. No, there's a Vulgrim past the boss room, that's what it is. So I should probably go spend my shit before I freaking pull my cock off. I remember this guy being pretty tough. Not as tough as Pride or whoever the chick is at the end of this place, but, you know, he took me a minute. I also don't have any heals, that's an issue.
What would you ask of this humble merchant?
I could buy them back, or I could just die, right? If I just go in there with the intention of dying, I can learn patterns or whatever.
Take your time. As you wish. You make sure they scream.
So I guess we should probably shut up so we can actually fight the boss, even though we're gonna die this first time. But then I will consult the list. Or maybe not. I have like a few of them, but again, the list is very long, so like... I'm actually gonna be like opening up and picking stuff.
Mistress, they don't look happy to see us. They shouldn't be.
Hordes of heaven, you know who I am, what I am. If you would see the sun set this day, you will...
Feel the burn of heaven's blade!
Good. I hate
Remember when she was talking about how she didn't have friends, so her horse was her only thing? Then she goes and do shit like this. Hey, you know I'm a huge bitch. You wanna talk? Nah. 'Cause I don't wanna talk either. Please be my friend. I remember when this came out, the journalists who weren't going, this is Dark Souls, and that's not okay for once. We're all like, this is Fury, and she's epic, and, you know, she's my favorite horseman. Because she's the female one. But they weren't expecting a role model to be a huge bitch, huh? Come on, how is Death not your favorite? He's so cool. Strife's pretty cool too, but you know, Death's edgy cool. Strife's for the people who like Deadpool, which is everyone, but you know. You need to have had an emo phase at some point in your life to like Death more. Which I grew up when emo rock was popular, so definitely did. Also the part where I was legitimately depressed, but we don't talk about that. Also, War's pretty sick. He's not my favorite, but he's sick. Voiced by my man Akihiko Sanada. Alright, here's the boss. Kind of annoying that you have to go through that whole thing first, but I guess that was in case you didn't have health. Oh, shit. Come on, there we go. Even if he's blocking, he's taking arcane damage from the burns, so that's pretty good. Sits there and does nothing because I keep spamming attacks.
These are no longer our brethren. Show no mercy.
This guy Black, he sounds black. That's pretty cool.
No place, Horseman. Here you will find only suffering.
And by cool, I mean, like, you know, the Bible is a pretty horrible thing. Like, it's very homophobic, very racist, all that kinds of stuff, very sexist. So it's good to see portrayals of biblical things that are more accepting or whatever. It's also why I don't hate on Chick-fil-A. Because their food's good, and yeah, they're a Christian company. Don't be mad that they freaking have faith. Because some people are, like, boycotting them for being, like, super homophobic or whatever. They're just being good Christians, alright? And it's not like they won't serve you, they just aren't helping you, alright? I use that. There's one. Definitely shouldn't have used two, but that's my bad. On the opposite end of that, with Darksiders specifically, the demons aren't like... They aren't adherent to the deadly sins or whatever. Like, we're fighting them in this game, but like, all the other demons are just like demonsters, monsters. Or normally they would be like, you know, humans that are just the extreme of whatever vice it is. So, like, the satyr would be an ideal one in that it has, like, a permanent erection. Because they're just super horny. It's weird how often those are portrayed, you know, from Greek mythology, like, without that. Just to make it more wholesome.
Should have stayed in your no place.
They get rid of a lot of the sex stuff when they teach you the mythology, actually. It's really strange. Because, like, you know, the textbooks were written in a time where, like, Christian values were the head in America. Despite the fact that we were founded on the principle of religious freedom. But, you know, like, we weren't teaching evolution, we were teaching mythology because it's fun for the kids. But also, I think the idea was that, like, we were supposed to dehumanize these other things. Like, when they tell you all the gods are, like, siblings, and, like, everyone's fucking their dads and moms and brothers and sisters and whatnot. It's like, yeah, that's partially true, but it's also, like, not always the case. They just, like, you know, they give you some of the information, but not all of it. For example, Athena is the daughter of Zeus and Hephaestus, who is Zeus' son. However, those are two men. How did that happen? Well, Hephaestus hit Zeus on the head with his hammer, because they don't like each other. And Hephaestus, being the god of smithing, is the hammer of creation, right? So that bump birthed a child, born of Zeus' head, and that's why she's so smart, and that's why she's his favorite. It was an unconventional birth. That's how a lot of them are created. But then the textbook's just like incest. I got him at like a little below half health last time. I probably should have used the ult. Havoc, whatever it's called.
When you take your last breath, remember it was an angel who sent you to hell.
I don't think I have to kill this guy because he's like a friend, but we're getting close to the point where I want to use my thing. Shit! I was literally hitting the buttons to try do it for healing. I would see Uriel being captain of the Hellguard too. I said the Bible was sexist, so like that's another thing that just wouldn't happen. Just never gonna use that Stormlance, are we? Did I just, like, make a turn for no reason? Yeah. You know, now I'm thinking about it, Greece, like, integrated with Rome at some point, right? And that's why, like, most of what Rome is basically just Greek with different names. So that means that what eventually became the, like, you know, big Christian Catholic thing, Holy Roman Empire, was Greek at some point. So, like, where did the regression come from? Because, like, ancient Greece was, like, super sexually liberal, and they had a democracy as their government. Like, how did we go backwards from there? They were, like, into, like, all the cool shit, fighting and whatnot, demons. It's like, yeah, that's fucking cool. Let's tell stories about that. Alexander the Great literally lied about being Greek because being a Greek hero was the cool thing to do. I think early Rome was, like, very orgy-y too. So I guess it did stick around for a while, but it disappeared at some point. Probably after the initial fall, but, like, what happened? What was that? I've never seen that one. There are different arcane counters based on where I am in a combo? Oh yeah, shards. I could get through this so easy if I just use the fortification shard. Let's do that. It's nice that it's letting me keep my things.
What would you ask of this? This will be fun for both of us. As As you wish.
Should have just spammed and he wouldn't have hit me with that. There. You love that shortcut? I remembered it. Should have used the counter. Oh well. Why is he not blocking? He's blocking there. Unless he doesn't do what I'm hitting from the side. Ah.
You want to keep your reputation, Fury? Earn it in blood! There are very few who cannot be
Woo!
glad you are one of them.
There we go, that's a win. Right? That's a win! Damn it.
Get thee to oblivion!
Freaking use the heal, damn it. Jeez.
Your treacherous kid has left a stain on the universe.
Oh! You fucker. Ah! You saw me switch to the small heal because I thought I had it in the bag. Don't have Havoc anymore. Oh well, we figured out hitting him from the side's the way to go. Not even from the back, because he'll turn around. Exploits, baby. Shit. Hmm. Maybe I should have left that blanket there. It's fucking cold. Question of the day, would you rather have a sweaty asshole or be cold? All over your body. Because I just felt that wave of heat just like leave me as soon as I moved that blanket. And I regret it. Yeah, a sweaty ass sucks, but like... I started shaving, like, my nether regions recently. Took advantage of one of the freaking YouTube influencer deals to get the lawnmower 3.0. Sure, you see ads for it all the time, right? Because you're a man, you're a gamer, you got balls, right? Yeah, it was pretty worth it. Because I've tried before, and I was like, nope, this is not worth the pain, goddammit. I will freaking keep the bush. Or no, I went to scissor cutting for a while, but that was, like, tedious. No, yeah, it works. If you go too fast, you can still nick yourself a bit, but it works. Pretty great. And that's all we have to say about it. Get it. Any myths you've heard about, like, the hair being there to prevent chafing? Or the, like, keeps shit streaks from running into your underwear? And you'll have ass soup coming out every day once it's gone? Nah, it's all myth. There was no disadvantage to doing it. It wasn't even itchy. I just smell better, and, yeah. I think I even chafe less. I think our Havoc meter filled up about halfway, so if we die a few more times, it won't be too bad. We should have it in the bag by then if we don't already. I also didn't use a fortification shard because I'm an idiot, but it's too late now. I ain't bugging out. Aw, shit. Woo! Ugh. use the small boy first, because it's gonna be on cooldown. Ah, shit. I didn't think it would take away the buff boys, too. And we gotta wait it out. My B, fam. There's a chance our health orchard's can drop from these. We'll smash it up while we wait. Crushed it. Thought I didn't have to do his whole health bar, but alright.
Your rage is misplaced, horseman.
I sincerely doubt it.
Guy fights with a belt. Badass.
Here to finish the job your brother War began.
I have no idea what War did or did not do, nor do I care.
So, you're here to steal the souls of my fellow angels, then? You think I don't recognize a weapon of the Lord of the Hollows?
I serve none but the Council. I hunt the 7 deadly sins, at least those who remain. But another task consumes me. Betrayal by your glorious kingdom.
Oh, yes. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and laugh. We can hardly defend ourselves, let alone spare the energy to betray a great horse.
My steed, Rampage, was slaughtered by angelic weaponry before I could summon him to Earth. I will know why, and I will have blood.
Take me at my word. I have no love for the horsemen. Thanks to you, the apocalypse is at hand, and we... I have no knowledge of any conspiracy against you, or your mission on Earth.
Of his kind, Lucille is honorable.
Just because he doesn't know doesn't mean it's not happening.
As you can see, I've problems of my own. Perhaps we can strike a deal, horseman. Lately, I have seen my own forces ravaged, losing more and more every day. To my horror, I have learned that my brethren are being murdered by our nightmares made real. Abominations. Undead angels. Demons are also its target, taking them into the realm of the undead as well.
And who, in your estimation, is responsible?
The only force in the universe capable of such a heretical act is lust.
Lust! You're insane.
That's the one.
I've crossed paths with lust before. They have no such power.
And what makes you think that the world as you've known it is the world we're now in? An unnamed demon is rumored to have bestowed upon lust the very power to take on the forces of heaven and hell. A spoiler in the apocalypse. Lust transforms angel and demon alike into the undead. Mindless things, bent only on violence and destruction.
And so if I eliminate lust, thus solving your dilemma, you will in turn provide something for me. Is that the deal you propose?
Indeed, if it be in my power. And to prove we mean no ill will towards you, Horseman.
Boomerang, 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 give me
May
that.
this crossblade serve you well in your crusade against lust. Unchecked, their growing strength will doom us all.
It's not a cross, it's an
Find
eye.
out who tried to kill me. In exchange, I will force lust to reveal the source of their power before I destroy them.
We have a pact.
If I discover you have in any way lied to me, you will wish it was one of my brothers tearing out your heart.
Angels don't lie. Salvation. And tag up to forged targets. Release R, throw. Hollow equip, holding imbue with Hollow's power. Well, that just means we gotta backtrack through the whole game, right? Nah. We're gonna wait till we have the other things. I think specifically I see a bunch of purple ones lying around. I don't know about the other colors. That looked good. How far are we, or time-wise? Hour and a half? Yeah. Game. So, we might play up to Lust and then, like, dip and go fight, what's-his-face, Sloth instead, because he's easier. I think Lust is probably the hardest boss in the game.
You best hold up your end.
I don't even remember Pride. I thought that's who Lust was this whole time, but no, she was the golden chick who we talked to earlier. We're only worthy once we've taken out the other guys, but like, she ain't shit, I guess, because I don't remember the fight. I remember Gluttony because, like, it was difficult to figure out, or it wasn't difficult to figure out, it was difficult to execute, because what I thought was the answer, which was the answer, wasn't working.
Pray.
There's also a fight where, like, the no immunity during dodges, really fucked me up. Because the most reliable way to do damage to him was the counters, but, like, he just kept attacking.
Horseman.
Horseman.
Good hunting.
Goodwill hunting.
Horse.
I don't know why that's, like, a Thanksgiving
You
movie.
will not be quick to forget your transgressions.
I only watched it, like, a year or so ago for the first time. So, like, what's the deal? Why is that, like, a fall movie? Is that just when it came out originally, so it's in everyone's mind? Or is it just, like, the general message? Makes it wholesome and stuff.
Perhaps Perhaps your threat will keep him in line.
Doubtful. Would you trust him?
I'm not the one that has to. Also, trust isn't part of a Watcher's vocabulary. Present company included, of course.
And
You don't trust me, we're done. Drama in the middle of every buddy cop movie.
Daddy! Oh, hello, Fury. You're looking radiant and flush with blood rage.
I have no time for you, demon.
No, you're a very busy horseman, with people to go and places to slay, I'm sure. But I was wondering if in your bard-worthy travels, you happened across an artifact. Nothing special.
Talking
An
about like
artifact.
glaive.
What does it look like?
Well, it's a trinket, really. A novelty crafted by the birds. Sort of a cross with pointy edges and...
Got chicken in my
I
teeth.
may have lied. It's not a trinket. But please cut me a break. The demon has to eat.
I found it. It's mine.
I'll pay you 1,000,000 souls for it.
Souls
I'll
are
take
your
it.
currency. Sharp objects are mine. No deal. However, you might be of service to me. Have you seen the undead angels and demons?
Ah, the unlife. Sadly, yes. Those who were once beyond mortality deserve better. Now, I have no lost love for the birds, but that's just wrong.
We're done then. If you hear anything, do let me know.
Does nothing shake you? Do you not feel any empathy, watching those who once loomed so large robbed of the very force they sought to control? Life.
Perhaps after I find out why they're trying to kill me, I'll make time to feel sorry for them.
My, she's cold. Intoxicating. What a hot-headed demon that is. This will be fun for both of us. As you wish. Take your time. As you wish. Please, as you wish. Oh, do make sure they scream, horseman.
Alright. Huh. Pretty fat initial hit. It's like 100 damage. Or, no, only 50. I don't know why it hit him twice the first time. Maybe that's like initial burn damage or something. I saw a lurcher pop out, but it didn't come to me. Fight. Okay. I needed that. Okay, so... For those of you unaware, I really love crime drama and mystery stuff. Part of why I enjoyed Persona 4 more than 5. You know, I grew up watching Scooby-Doo. I never played the Ace Attorney games, but I watched the anime. I thought that was, great. And obviously it's people talking, so the animation budget is, low, but, it still has all the writing, goes through all the games. It is very good. That was, a couple years ago, so I'm not doing, a more in-depth thing on that. But basically, I'm gonna go on, a tangent about 3 shows. And 2 of them are related to Sherlock Holmes, the mystery man, right? Oh, I also really like the show House. I don't watch a lot of actual shows. But House is great, and in case you can't tell by the name, yeah, he's literally like medical Sherlock Holmes. Holmes House. You see, he's got the drug addiction, and he's an asshole, but he solves the hard things. Hey, it's literally the same guy, alright? Oh boy. So, I guess we'll go with the one I watched the latest from now, which would be Kabukicho Sherlock. So we've talked about the Yakuza games before. Those mainly take place in Kamurocho, which is a fictional version of Kabukicho. They also have like Sotenbori, fictional Osaka. Like they have their own fictional versions of these lands, maybe to avoid defending the Yakuza? Question mark? I don't know why. Because otherwise, it's pretty like one-to-one replica of the actual cities in the games, right? So Kabukicho is the west end of Shinjuku, aka the Sex District, Red Light. It's where all the crime happens, it's where all the hookers are, all the clubs. Which is really weird how Japan's laid out like that. Like, you got that for all the degenerates, and then freaking Akihabara for all the otakus. You go from city to city, and it turns into cat girls to BDSM to hookers. Osaka is the BDSM place, by the way. Like the capital of the world, that's where it stems from. Everybody loves being dominated there, apparently. Right, so, as you might guess, it's Sherlock Holmes. Like, I don't need to explain much about that. You got an asshole who solves mysteries that are difficult, does things in an eccentric way. How the thing works is there's, like, a bar that everyone hangs out in. Everybody takes odd jobs. Like, people come into the bar, they provide a case that they don't want to go to the police with, and there's like 5 teams of detectives, all teams of 2, that go out and try to solve it for a bounty. And it's like fat cash, so it's what they're all living off of. But they're all friends in the end. They buy each other drinks afterwards and stuff. And the bar's ran by a cross-dresser drag queen. Because that's a thing. So I guess where you can say the unique things come from are the other teams when you watch them solve mysteries, but also our Sherlock, he has like a thing for Rakugo. Before he became a detective, he wanted to be a Rakugo guy, but he's like a sociopath, so he can't convey emotion very well. But when he solves a case, he like enacts the whole thing out in Rakugo, which is like a one-man show. It's supposed to be kind of comedic, it like always ends in a joke. Like a very traditional Japanese thing. And our protagonist is actually Watson, who walks in with a case one day, and he ends up teaming up with Sherlock because he can tolerate him being a freaking dickhead. I think Sherlock's a nickname too. They're obviously all Japanese. Now, what's really strange is another guy who hangs out around the bar is like a teenager named Moriarty, who, as you might know, is Sherlock's villain rival guy. He's always trying to pin him because he suspects he's behind all the things, but he doesn't usually get to do it because Moriarty's a freaking genius, right? But here he just seems to be his friend. Keep that in mind. Nah, literally no spoiler. Yeah, he is Moriarty. I don't want to explain what happens, but like it gets kind of crazy towards the end when that whole thing goes down. Until then, you just like fun mysteries, eccentric characters. The thing that I guess defines anime to me is the fact that it's not just like pointless sketches like cartoons. Like there is an overarching storyline and it will have a conclusion. So obviously these mysteries like tie together a bit in between them. And it comes to a satisfying conclusion. And maybe room for a second season if they want. And I don't know, it's very weeaboo sounding of me, but I think this is another show where you can learn, like, an actual bit about their culture over there from watching. Because it's, like, definitely not trying to be a cartoon. It's very serious. There is, like, a punchline for one of the cases where a transgender person is involved. Or maybe another drag queen, they weren't really clear about it. But, I don't know, if that kind of thing offends you, be aware. I think that might have something to do with, like, how the 80s horror movies and stuff all had, like, you know, the famous serial killers, mental health problems, they all dressed up as women at points. It's an issue with the swearies games as well, like Deadly Premonition, you know. His other game about freaking shape-shifting photographer detective cat lady called The Good Life came out recently. I haven't heard anything about it, but like just because I know it's a sweary game, I'm very interested. So yeah, that was great. I binged it real quick. I think it's a full 24 episodes. Then more recently, we watched Moriarty the Patriot. Remember how I explained he's a genius, and he's Sherlock's, like, anti-Sherlock? This is a show that takes place from Moriarty's perspective, and you watch him set up perfect crimes. Now, he's doing it, like, with good intent, but he's also, like, helping people murder people and stuff. That's why, hence the name Moriarty the Patriot. He's, like, fighting injustice in his own way, or whatever. It's very bloody, actually. Very dark and edgy. Like, Death Note edgy. And you'd think that, like, there wouldn't be that same thrill in there. Because we're not unraveling a mystery, we're setting one up, right? But no, you just... It's like watching someone set up a Rube Goldberg machine, right? They do all the planning, and then they set it up, and you watch the whole thing play out in motion, and you see the cops struggle to do it. And I think about midway through, they finally meet Sherlock, and, you know, he gets on their case for the next few encounters, and we even follow Sherlock for a little bit after that, but I think the second season's airing now. So we'll see, like, whether the focus stays on Moriarty or not. But, I enjoy it, and I guess you could say this is a case where you might want to watch dubbed, like, preferably, because they're in England, right? Everybody's doing their British accents. I don't know if any of the actors are actually English. But, again, that's like another thing that was just refreshing. I've never seen a show that did that specifically. Maybe Dexter, but I didn't watch Dexter. I've seen a few episodes, but like, I heard that it gets really repetitive, so I didn't stick around. Oh, and Breaking Bad, of course. I also really like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies. Even though they are like action romps and not really mystery things, they're still very fun. And you get to see like the actual portrayal of Sherlock being an asshole who does drugs and stuff, so that's cool. That's also the version we see in Moriarty the Patriot, too. The real Sherlock. Ollie. Oh, it's also, like, not Moriarty alone. He ends up building a team over the course of the show, and they all help him out with their unique skills. Setting up a sort of Robin Hood crew. Or, like, you know, you only know the face of William Tell, but it was Robin Hood was an organization. I'm supposed to freaking burn these nests, aren't I? Obscurus. I think this one enhances our dodge window. It's a good one. Salvation. I can put something on it? Sick. I guess that means that these all take effect. Havoc generated with this weapon. Evade invincibility window. Baby. Don't want Havoc generated with the weapon on that, though? Physical art. Yeah. Yeah, why not? It's the evade window I care about. Though realistically, that's like makes me a freaking pleb, right? Because I could just get something that's more powerful and not have enhanced invade window if I got good. It's like the argument of whether or not you need a healer in your party. Like, you could just be doing more damage and use your buff potions and stuff, or you could have a healer and not have to worry about using all the items that are in the game. Why are there 3 guys? Rat, I need you. Pátalo. Loser. Right, so another solid recommend. Looking forward to the 2nd season of that. And further back, id Invaded. ID is id. Basically Psychonauts. I think I watched it while I was playing Psychonauts, but I didn't talk about it then because we weren't talking about anime yet for some reason. So we have a pink-haired protagonist for once. That's unique. If you didn't know, the hair colors usually dictate, like, personality traits. So I have no idea what pink hair means, but he was pretty cool. So it's a detective show, and again, like Psychonauts, we dive into people's heads to solve the mysteries. Specifically, we dive into the heads of the victims to figure out who the killer was by looking through their memories before their bodies completely decomposed. Or there was something about, like, the way they died, like emotions or whatever, that would open up the well to go into the thing. Whatever. Each well is unique. They're called id wells. I should have mentioned that. So they all have unique properties, functions. The first one you wake up in, like, everybody's in pieces, so he has to put himself back together, and then he has to start building the level because the whole world's in pieces too. Basically, the detective dives in. He doesn't have memory. He has to figure out that he's a detective and then solve the mystery to get out. And if he dies, he'll wake up, have to restart from scratch, no memories retained. There are people outside watching who get to keep the memories, but the actual detective has to figure it out from nothing every time. And at the start, there's only the one guy who is a criminal. You learn after he wakes up from the first thing. He's like way jacked version of who he is in the well. He used to be a cop, but he's a criminal. And they add a few more detectives later on. They'll have different approaches to things. So you get to deal with serial killers, killing people in creative ways. You get to look at the cool Psychonauts wells. Mysteries solved in interesting ways. Sometimes the mystery doesn't have anything to do with, like, the actual killer, rather just, like, their methods or whatever, and, like, it will be enough to explain things. They can look around at symbols in the dream to, like, figure out locations they should be checking out. But also, sometimes there's a man in a hat who gets hidden, he doesn't seem to do anything, and nobody knows why he is, but they call him John Walker. And again, these things need to wrap up. He ends up being, like, the big thing that everyone has to worry about towards the end. And it wraps up like 100% by the end of it. Even explains how the hell the well technology works. Kinda. Spoilers, it's a load of shit, but, you know, they at least had a reason for it, for the Deus Ex Machina. I don't know, I guess I would describe it as Uncharted in that they just throw fun ideas at you and tie a story to it later on. And, it works in this case. I really enjoyed that one, though I don't remember when I watched it. It was a very long time ago. It came out within the last 2 years, but like maybe last summer, like before the one we just passed. Why aren't they doing anything? No, I think it was in spring, maybe, right? I feel like I watched it along the same time as No Man's Life, though that might have been the first season. We're gonna avoid them because we don't have to fight them. Then they're shooting at us. It's probably not a good idea. He lives. Doors this way. Oh god. I don't want to fight Fat Boy. You know, I'd get him to jump off the edge. Sick. Fuck! Oh shit, we're alive, but... Goddamn. What? There's an invisible wall. Oh. Oh. Why are we fucked? Why are we allowed in here? Can I make it over here? I think so. I probably use that preemptively. Okay, there's no colliders on this ground because we weren't supposed to come over here. And there's no collider on that part of the map entirely. Are we fucked? See, developers don't expect you to come down here, so they don't put, like, a checkpoint kill box or whatever, but sometimes they do. Usually what happens is you'll come all the way down here, and there will just be, like, water or something to catch you for no reason. If we're lucky, we might see the cache of items that are supposed to drop down here too, though. Because rather than creating new things every time we need a new soul, they just spawn something from way down here. Or they teleport it, I mean. And when you absorb it, they teleport it back. So it doesn't have to keep loading shit. Yeah, we're fucked. Turn to title, yes. It's saved, but I don't think it saves our location necessarily, so we should be good. I actually made it a point to put a kill box underneath every map in my game, just in case the physics fail. Because I fucking hate when shit like that happens. It also makes it easier to set pitfall traps. You know, you just fall and you hit that kill box instead of me needing to place them every time. Just one under the whole map. Oh hoo. Oh ho. Oh. You know what? I should be like casting the lightning spell and then fighting with the fire so that I get both damage types going on at once. Because right now any arcane counters I do with this, they're not going to stack more burning. Jesus Christ. These guys hit pretty damn hard. Ah. Hey, what else have we got? We got fucked, that's what we got. Dr. Stone Season 2, Stone Wars. I don't know if I talked about the original first season, but basically apocalypse happens, everything gets turned to stone, million years pass, civilization's gone. For some reason, our man, Senku, gets guano on himself and nitric acid, like, melts the stone. He wakes up because he's been counting the whole time like a fucking nerd. Kept his brain conscious, and, yeah, he broke out with the stone. And he is a super genius. High school kid going to Africa to cure Ebola kind of super genius. So he just knows how to do everything, and, you just watch him make technology and make people's lives better. If you ever watch, like, the Primitive Technology YouTube channel, where the guy just, like, improves his life every episode, it's very much, like, the same feeling as watching that. There is fighting eventually, but, like, for the most part, it's just like, yeah, science, here's a cool pose. And, like, learning some actual stuff. I think Critical reviewed it. He said that he fact-checked everything, and, like, it's a little abridged, but for the most part, it is legit science. They don't bullshit you at all. Like, nothing's as easy as they make it out to be, but, like, everything is feasible. I mentioned that because I didn't fact check it. I don't care. Fuck it. But initially the show started with you following Kaiju, actually, who was, like, super pumped to ask out the girl he likes forever, right? And then the incident happened, and he just sat there like, ah, for the million years, because he was, like, trying to get ready to say it. And he ends up waking up around the same time as Senku. So we actually follow him initially, and he's a dumbass. So I thought it was interesting that we were maybe going to see the show from his perspective, because no one's as smart as Senku, right? So might as well show us it from a perspective of a dumbass, and it will, like, make sense when he has to explain everything to us, right? And it was like that at first, but eventually they split up, and we start following Senku again, where he eventually comes in contact with a tribal village. And they're like, they don't want science, but they want science. So he, like, lures them over with the freaking cool stuff he makes. Ramen noodles, glasses, fucking Coca-Cola. So yeah, he eventually gets them to join up, and then we are on season 2, where the guy who, forgot to explain, they freaking met a third guy who was, like, really strong and smart, but he, like, wanted to kill people, because he's like, some of these people shouldn't come back to life. You know, I think I'll smash them. So they're like, oh, we gotta get rid of this guy. So they tried to kill him, and it didn't work out, so he, like, tries to kill them instead. They split up. He forms his own kingdom by bringing back people with the freaking guano juice. And, you know, Senku's got his own little village now with technology. So they're gonna go to war with each other. That's where we're at. And that's what happens. They go to war, and, you know, they want to not kill people because they have, like, a huge technological advantage, so they try to intimidate and persuade. And that all works out, but they're... sadly, blood is spilled at some point. So I don't want to say there's action necessarily, but, like, there's tension. And there is, like, an actual fight for the finale. You know, just science. If you like watching Bill Nye or the Primitive Technology channel, yes. I was shocked to find out that, our body armor that we wear, like bulletproof, ballistic vests and stuff, that is just made of paper. Fun facts. Also, the protagonist looks like freaking Bok Choy for some reason. I like the character designs in general, but he has, like, Bok Choy hair for some... kind of hilarious. It's probably a different vegetable I'm thinking of, but I think that they're very similar looking. It's like a sort of white carrot-looking celery thing with green tips. Also, if you're a thigh guy, the show's got booty. Not like explicit, but you know, everyone's in tribal clothing. And they know how to draw it. Can I just use the fucking Havoc mode to get past this fucker? Because I want to. Let's do that. I think taking damage shortens the duration. I was unaware of that. And it makes sense that they'd punish me for just fucking going wild with it, even though you can dodge. You can probably do really big arcane counters if I tried to, too. But I never did. Huh. So I don't know how you would feel about it if you don't like learning stuff, but me being a fucking nerd who actually enjoys the process of learning things, maybe one of my favorite shows. Though I absolutely hate school, as we've gone on record saying before. I think it's a terrible, terrible learning environment. Waste of my fucking time. I guess while we're on the topic of educational shows, we have Cells at Work Code Black. Which is, you know, like regular Cells at Work, but this time we're in the body of a fucking degenerate who drinks and smokes and has sex with hookers and gets STDs and stuff. There's one episode where, like, they're teaching you how erections work and the guy gets ED, then they have to throw in Viagra to get it back up. Yeah, basically you follow around a blood cell and he interacts with the other kinds of cells. You learn how body functions work with fun characters. Except this one gets, like, people die all the fucking time because it's not a healthy body. The other one's a healthy body, and, like, they do deal with the occasional disease or parasite or whatever, and there is a lot of blood when the white blood cells come in and stab shit. But, you know, that's a healthy body. Things are usually happy. There were a few episodes where, like, big shit happened and people died. Like, I think the guy got shot at some point, but... this one's just a lot darker in that respect. Also, all the characters are gender swapped for some reason. Like, our red blood cell's a boy, and the white blood cell's a big titty lady with a katana instead of a G guy with knives. And, yeah, again, if you enjoy educational stuff, go for it. It's violent. This one specifically is very much for adults, not for kids, unlike the other one, but, pretty great.
Greetings. Please, as you wish.
Show me your
Take your
wings.
time.
Show me your balls, dude. For sure, physical damage. This is like the same thing, but for the Storm, and I don't know if I want to buy this one specifically, because we haven't been using the Storm Lance. We should. Especially if we're going to go into the freaking Serpent Hole place. But for now, I will buy something that we might actually use. Not this. Maybe this. We could buy these and upgrade a relic, right? I think the Angelic one is for lifesteal.
An excellent joy. As you wish. This.
Fed him how many times this episode. I need to like, start buying stuff from him.
Farewell for now.
I think I was only level 69 at the end of my other file. More money. Oh, I made a lot of money. Yeah, we got hella stuff. Let's go back to the forge.
Greetings. Please take your time.
You know, we might actually go into the Sloth lair now. I feel like we're getting close to lust, or I think we're about to meet greed or gluttony. But we don't fight him till after lust.
How can my hammer be of service if you're aiming to lay down a mighty
Hammer.
Didn't think it was possible, but now you're even deadlier.
Oh, I can upgrade salvation. Let's put a point in that so we actually use it.
Beautiful havoc
And
you'll wreak
fuck.
with that. Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak. Interesting. All right,
Taste.
let's see what I can do for you. Didn't think it was possible.
We
but
don't have enough
now you're
demonic
even
boys.
deadlier.
I guess I should save up to get one of these. By the time we find 8 more, we should have killed one of the chosen, right? I know where one is. That would probably be best if we waited till we had the ice weapon to fight him. I don't know if I want to level this one up or not. Theoretically, it's good.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Good luck to you, Fury.
Glad you found interest in Ulthane. Not like anyone else cares about me being analytical. What? Are we on time? I'm gonna say 2.5. Yeah, exactly 2.5. I'd like to say that we're going to kill Sloth, but I don't think the path is that direct. Pretty sure it's a very roundabout thing we gotta go through. I'm trying to not be on for 4 hours this time, because those are frustrating to freaking watch again. Didn't even do the last one yet. Realistically, it would be smart of me to do it, like, as soon as I'm done streaming, because it's all, I know what happens. I know where to go. I should be writing down the timestamps myself even, but I don't have a clock on screen, so I guess that won't do me any good. Is this? No. No, it's somewhere else. What the hell are you? Oh shit, this... I thought we were on the other end by the path that we just went down to get to the swamp, but we're like on the opposite side of that. We still haven't killed this fucker. Think we're strong enough yet? Probably not. Oh, moly. What is he throwing? That loots. Wonder how much money I have saved in lurchers. I haven't used them in a while. I remember I was just consuming all of them instantly when we started. But I said I wanted to save them to buy stuff from the store now. You have to have a lot, right? We've been through like 2 regions. We'll have that. Talk about another one that's popular right now. Tokyo Revengers. Now, apparently, the anime adaptation is, like, shitty. But it's still pretty good. So that's the issue. Like, I guess I'm supposed to tell you to read the manga, but I don't read manga. I've got a small stack next to me. But I don't read. They're just there for show. But whatever. I guess it's like the big thing that's not Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, because those aren't airing currently. So, you know, it's good to see something else get some spotlight. Shit. See. Our character is a loser. And, you know, he doesn't have his friends anymore. He broke up with his girlfriend, he works at a video store, his fucking apartment's a mess. And he sees on the news that his girlfriend, when he was in high school, or middle school even, died in a gang warfare related thing. And he ends up meeting her older brother, who is now a detective, shakes hands, and they travel back in time, because special, I don't know, they never explained the power. But he wakes up back in middle school, and he was a thug, or a degenerate, which I've explained before. We talked about the Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. My favorite thing. Japanese degenerates are the best. So you go back there and, like, he's still a dumbass because he's a dumbass in the future, but, like, he has his memories of the present. So he's, like, less of a dumbass. If that makes any sense. Basically, he doesn't know what's going on at first, but he figures it out later, and he makes it his mission to try and prevent his ex-girlfriend's death. And he also realizes that he, like, still really loves her, and he doesn't know why they ever broke up. So he's trying to, like, make that happen, too. So, you know, it starts out as just, like, small school degenerates, but he ends up getting mixed up in an actual gang. And they start doing rumbles and shit with the rivals. People start dying, going to jail. And, yeah. Basically, it becomes a loop of go back, stop this guy from dying, see if that fixed it. Ah, shit, it didn't fix it. Let's watch your girlfriend die again, kid. Okay, God, I can't do this. Well, let's go back and do it again. And you'd think that by the end of this, you'd figure out that he's going to have to fight people, right? But, like, he never, like, trains or anything. He doesn't learn martial arts. He doesn't work out. He just sits there and, like, stays indestructible. I think the first major thing that gets him to join the gang is just him getting his ass kicked. And you're like, wow, this guy can fucking take a punch. So yeah, his superpower is that he's fucking invincible, and he also cries a lot, which brings people together, because nobody's allowed to show their feelings, but you know, when your homeboy's crying, it's a big deal. You gotta pay attention to that. So, you know, he becomes boys with the leaders of the gang, and they basically use him and make him their bitch, kind of ruin his life, but, like, he's like, wow, these guys are so cool. So, you know, he's a doormat. And yeah, I don't know, it's just gang shit. Sadly, there's no cool action. Well, there is some cool action, but, like, our protagonist is a fucking pussy. And he's not doing any investigating, you just, like, figure out what happened, change it. So, like, it doesn't have the freaking crime drama thrill that I'm looking for either. But maybe it did in the manga, I don't know. It just goes from, like, goofy to serious. And it keeps bouncing around between the two. And I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it. And I guess that's the point. Okay, again, it's supposed to be a shitty adaptation. I'm also concerned with how they're going to handle all the time travel bullshit, because, you know, it never makes sense. I also want them to have a bit more fun with the deaths. I guess the second one where, like, they throw her in a car that turns... They turn on the car and make her crash it, but then they send a second car at the car that's already burning to make it really get fucked up, with the boy's friend in it, since he's a traitor, I guess. So, like, that was a pretty creative death. I want to see, like, more of that when they go back to the present. I think I remember in Steins Gate where freaking rocket launcher. That's what happens. There's no guns in Japan, but, like, a fucking terrorist cell is after them. And, yeah, they survive a rocket launcher because plot armor. Or I think that was Zero. Like the second season, second game. I think the dub has like 1 or 2 more episodes left in it, but it doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. So, like, it's not technically wrapped up yet, but I don't know, that's just how I'm feeling. Kind of, like, lukewarm on it, but, like, I'll keep watching. It has the potential to get better. You know, maybe I shouldn't be using the lance on the hard enemies, yeah. I'll learn how to use it later. Oh, but I'm using it because I have to use it to get up there. Makes sense. But while we're on the topic of degenerates, short form show, like 12 episodes long, Ikebukuro Westgate Park. It also aired last summer, I think. See, this one is more of that detective stuff that I was talking about. We got two rival gangs in Ikebukuro. They keep the peace for the most part, but, you know, they're like, rep up, bro. And freaking friend groups get split up when one guy joins the gang without telling the others to go. I'm already in the other gang, you idiot. Now we gotta fight. Basically, there's constant tension between the two, and our protagonist is like a guy who's boys with the two leaders. So he like takes on odd jobs, even though he just sells fruit. Like, he's not an actual gangster, but he's a badass. And he solves all their issues. Each one wraps up in one episode, except for the finale. So, you know, they're good to just watch in one sitting instead of binging, if that's not your thing. And, yeah, fun odd jobs, gang warfare, there is violence. That's what you're into. The OP is a freaking banger. And I don't know. I, again, binged, so, like, I watched it all in 2 days, but, I enjoyed it. It's just a wash in my head, though. There were 2 tangents I could have gone on from the Tokyo Revengers, but I don't remember what the second one is. Really bugging me. Couldn't have been the time travel, right? I don't think so. It's not about the generous, because we did that one. Dumbass character, maybe? I don't know. It lost me. God forbid we keep any kind of flow with it. You boys can jump down or nah. Right, the violent deaths. Violent creative deaths. Igarashi. When they cry, I think that means. I've heard the two said, like, one after the other, so yeah, probably. I actually have the whole manga collection on my shelf. That's one of the things I have collected. And it is a time travel thing too, I guess. They're stuck. The character is stuck in a death loop, right? We start out this is a video game too. With, like, worse art, but, yeah. It's a visual novel. So we start out following Keiichi, who's a new boy in town. He's friends with all the girls. They have a club where they, like, you know, they do an activity and the loser has to do some bullshit. Basically a harem for Keiichi, even though a lot of them are, like, a lot younger than him. Because it's a small town and we do weird things. And that's important, because their freaking culture is weird, and apparently there's, like, people who disappear every year because of some kind of curse, and the town's history of, like, cannibalism and stuff. All the families are, like, rivals. There was a dam war at some point. Like, they didn't want to build the dam because that would fuck up the community. So, like, the families got split on that point. And, you know, the kids have to take the blame for that bullshit. So, this is, like, when you end up in the weird small town community. And they, like, gang up on you for being different kind of place, right? But basically, they go through the week, go up to the festival where people start to disappear, and somebody goes crazy and horrifically murders our character, Keiichi. And that's what happens. It seems like it retains at least one of the days in each cycle, though, because, like, some of the information carries over when they reset, but other parts of it don't, and it's kind of hard to keep track of. Sometimes he even survives the murder, but, like, after the event, it resets, and they, like, tell you a bit about the aftermath. So that goes on for a while. Just cute girls go crazy, murder, a lot of blood. And then towards the end, it decides to switch main characters, and that's when we realize that this character, who we thought was kind of creepy before, is actually stuck in a death loop, and they've been here for like a couple 100 years watching their friends get murdered. And they've been like fucking 10 years old for 500 years. And it really fucking sucks. But eventually they break out of it, I think, question mark. And they, like, progress to the future. They end up pissing off one of the friends, right? And that gets them to do some bullshit to get the curse started back up and throw the person back in a death loop. And now, you go to the second season, where you watch that friend, no spoilers, set up all the episodes that you previously watched. Kind of like the two sides of the Sherlock story, like we were talking about before, right? And because of that, it kind of recontextualizes the end of the first season. We're like, is that the past, or was that the present after they broke out of the loop? I don't know. It's very possible that it's both. But the second season's still currently rolling, so we'll see how that resolves itself. I don't know, it's like actually disturbing stuff sometimes. So I guess I enjoy it. Though the in-between's just like kids being kids, and like it's kind of stupid. The juxtaposition of that wholesome to insane is, you know, it's part of what makes it unsettling, though, of course. I get that. Just not necessarily for me. Fuck. I'm not sure if the game is on Steam, but since they're like redoing the anime because it had an older franchise when it was relevant, I would imagine they would put out a new game. A remastered one like what they did with Steins Gate. Get the artwork better because the guy doesn't know how to draw fingers. It was a PS2 game, I think. But all the characters had like big hands with they were mittens. They didn't have fingers. They had a thumb and then just a freaking skin mitt. That's probably why the characters are kids too, just because that's how the guy knew how to draw. Big heads, big hands. Thought the other guy was still around, but I guess he's permanently dead, which makes sense because he's one of the black guys, but that makes it a little more pathetic that I died a second ago. Sheesh. Is this the way to the desert biome? That why that was so difficult? This is like the last area you go to, since it's not connected to the other places. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, we can unlock the Vulgrim at least, before I forget how to get here. We might not be able to get here without the freaking purple. Because it lets you walk and attack underwater. Now we good. And there's Vulgrim. See, I need the purple to enter that, so I guess I was right partially.
Good eating.
Serpent hole.
Please take your time.
Catacombs, chamber breed, then skyscraper, crossroads. There's more for us to do over here. Can get over there, but there's a hole right here. Oh. See, I see like 3 hard enemies and also purple shit, so I'm just gonna back out because I don't have the purple, and we'll deal with that when we're stronger. Gonna be making smart decisions. I think there's more webs to burn back here. Already. I can use the dopamine hit of shredding up weak enemies though. Still hit pretty hard. I guess I only have 9 points in health, but still. I guess that's the way to go. They go down quicker, but it doesn't mean they're any less threatening. As opposed to how it works in JRPGs, where like you just don't want to fight the old enemies anymore, so you leave that area alone forever. I get up there. Gotta have something to do with this bus, right? Yeah. The inner paneling of the building looks like a climbable surface. But I thought there could be secrets higher up, but it doesn't look like there is. Nor can I grab these. There were two, right? Like one right next to this. Huh. I could have did that backwards. Or, well, I need the fire ability at least.
Great. This will be fun for both of us.
This will be fun for both of us.
Do make sure they scream, horseman.
Obviously the arcane damage is better, but I need to get my normal attack up to a satisfying feel. Like I should be able to one-hit those little spiders, and I should see a decent chunk of health gone with each hit on other enemies. And then we can stop leveling normal strength. Anything fun down here, or is it just punishment? I remember dying a million times here on day one. Oh, there's a corpse there. I guess that's loot. Crab game? Is that the game where the crabs fight? Watch the 20NG play that, I think. It's pretty sick. Subway. Oh, it's been a couple months. I normally eat it like once a month. Not because I don't enjoy it, it's just never on my mind. I don't eat sandwiches enough in general, but... Also, my sister used to work at Jersey Mike's, so we'd go there for discounts and stuff, but, I missed their September deal, and I just, like, was tight. I was tight about it. I think it was, like, you get an actual $5 footlong or something, like, they brought the deal back for that day or something. Maybe you got 2 of them for $5? It was a fucking slamming deal, and I missed it. I haven't had it ever since. I also think they just, like, made big changes or something. I saw signs on the door, since it's... I should avoid saying that. Y'all know I live in Pennsylvania, that's enough for you. I don't know, I think they, like, made changes to the way they handle the food or some bullshit. Possibly in response to the fake tuna allegations. Alleged. They are, in fact, alleged, because there's no way to prove that tuna is real or fake after it's been cooked. Because, you know, the DNA gets destroyed by the heat. I've never actually had it, because, you know, I want a crazy sandwich. I don't think that you can put a ton of vegetables or whatever on your tuna sandwich. You can, obviously, but, like, is it good? I don't know. My tuna sandwich is garlic powder, onion powder, cheese, and, pickles. And the mayo, of course. You gotta mix the tuna with the mayo. And you get some chips to scoop up whatever falls off.
Good eat. This will be as you wish. Farewell.
The pickles are a recent addition. I've never really put anything besides the tuna on it, and maybe the cheese to keep the bread from getting soggy, you know? I don't know, I think they add like a... I don't know, they add a nice bit of tang to it, you know? They make it saucy. Bites you back a bit. Sexy tuna. Also, question of the day, do you mix your tuna in the can? Because I do. Everyone says I'm weird for doing it, but, like, you take the can, you drain out the water, and then, like, it's a bowl. Like, why do you need to set a second bowl and get the bowl dirty when it's already sitting in a bowl? Just mix it up in the can. Am I weird? Of course I'm weird. But is that weird? There's loot down there. And over there. I think I get there from somewhere else, though. I'm not gonna risk the jump. Smash every one of these I come across, and there's a tall boy up here, and that's why we avoided this area until now, because I don't like the tall boys. Even though I recall beating the shit out of one as soon as I made the decision to not come this way because of him. Threw off my groove. So I'm supposed to be learning how to use this. I want to know how you did the freaking million stabs. How, like, time it just on time, like perfectly when it flashes. Nope, I have no idea. Like, there's a move list. I'm stupid. Lance of Scorn. Neutral plus delays. Thunderbolt. Crossover Spark after any basic X attack. Supercharge after any crossover special. Sizzling Strike. Time in air. After perfectly timed dodge. Is that what it is? Perfectly timed forward dodge. Yeah, that sounds right. Gale Force Tempest. Is a storm of strikes. I didn't think this would go that deep. I was supposed to go back to where we fought Wrath and see what's beyond that point, but we didn't. I'm pretty sure that's the way we get to the boss, so it's probably going to loop us around to some loot or something. Or I think this connects down to the, the swamp area at some point. Just for funsies, which means we can grind here. Son of a bitch. Wish I could multi-lock on him. If I get to ricochet. Perfect. Oh, we're stuck in the shit now. Oh, never mind. I thought it was deeper than that. Yeah, it's right there. I should be able to throw a thing across. I might have to move my ass a bit. I might be able to angle that, but I think that he's probably going to get stuck to the bottom of this egg. It's probably a shortcut back. I'm not supposed to be able to do it this way. So I'm not going to try more than twice. Ah! Yeah, it's too hard to get that angle. Like, they probably placed that like that intentionally. Okay. he drowned. Ow, I thought that was a corpse one. So, have you ever noticed that, like, when you crush a spider egg, spiders come out? That's not how eggs work, right? What's with that? Why are they still in the egg if they're, like, able to live? I guess they can maybe still get a little bigger, but, like, don't they all eat each other and, like, only strongest survive or whatever? Like, is that already happening in the egg? Or are they all just chilling? They got a truce until the floodgates open and then it's a battle royale. Have I been here? What time is it? Why is my cat being annoying? Oh shit, it's midnight. It's almost feeding time. He gets fed in like an hour or so, maybe 30 minutes. I come back from work around now. But he has to wait until my food's cooked because he's a butthole and he takes the other cat's food, so I have to lock him in the other room. Huh. So I obviously haven't been there. There's no other way in there, right? But, like, what was up with that corpse? Did I loot it and it's just, like, not registering in my brain? Stranger things have happened, but I gotta check it out anyways. I have a feeling we're gonna run to a Volgrim again in like a minute. So I guess we will stop when we get to the next Volgrim. But also, since this wasn't a loop, I'm gonna like turn around and try and get that wall destroyed again. Let's grab that since we don't need to be underwater next time and I'll forget about it. Do you think if I hit the guy with the charged element, it would do something? Where he at? Where Togepi? Nah, I just killed him. Yeah, okay. I forgot we can't throw downward. We tested that before, so it's not happening. That has to be a shortcut then. It has to be. Or maybe I need a hammer to smash it myself. That can make sense too. Shut up, Jinx. Bad boy. He acts like I didn't feed him my dinner. I forgot which way I even went. Ah. Thought I killed that thing, so I unlocked. I like that it looks like an edgy cultist when it's walking around. Ah, what do you mean there's two? I need to start breaking more stuff to get those small boys back. They come in clutch. I'm fighting mid-bosses. There's Volgrim. And a shortcut! Shortcut! Open up, open up. Open up, damn it. Jesus Christ. Kill this man. Ow, ow. What the fuck? Oh shit. He's got a gun. I'm playing sloppy because I'm right next to a Volgrim. I don't care. It'd be fucked up if that had an enemy in it. It's exactly why they should have done it, but they didn't.
Good eating. Take your time.
Yeah, demonic artifact.
Say what as you wish.
Probably start buying shards. They look pretty cheap. Yeah. That's all for today, guys. I think my schedule for next week is like a repeat, but shifted. Like, I only got 1 day off before they sent me back in for another 4. It's kind of fucked up, but, like, I also had 4 days off prior to that, so, like, I don't know what happened. I guess they just gave me the worst possible setup. Which happens sometimes. I'm not too salty. So, yeah. See y'all in, like, a week, probably. And we, of course, have a lot more anime to talk about if that interests anyone. So, yeah. I'm outie. Bye-bye.